Hello everybody, long time no see. And I know every springtime I make the same video saying, oh, I haven't been around, and oh, you know, so much has been going on, and the knees went the year before and all sorts of rubbish. And I thought, yeah, shouldn't really do the same thing again this year, but hey ho, it happened. So let's just get on with it. So I want to say thank you to everybody that has left me loads of messages saying they miss me, they're looking forward to my new one, am I okay, what's happened to me. Basically what happened? Life happened, and a house in France happened. So I don't know if I've told you before, I think I probably have. We bought a house in France about 3 years ago, and the last 3 years we've pretty much been going down there every school holiday, and that takes its toll on the allotment. So but as it's a sunny day, I thought I will give you a quick walking tour of the allotment. It is an absolute mess, so don't expect too much. But as you can see, we've got some blue skies, and Brian, my allotment neighbour's got his tractor out, and that is a sure sign of spring is in the air. So the trees are all just starting to bud. The weeds are all coming up. Well, they've been up, and the dandelions have all started going yellow. So yeah, time to start doing stuff. I've done bits and pieces. I've got a whole windowsill full of seedlings at home. I've sown some things in the greenhouse on about 2-3 nights ago. So I will show you all of those in the next couple of videos. And some big news that's coming is I've spoken to one of my allotment neighbours about 5 plots down. His name's Nigel, and he is going to put the polythene on the polytunnel for me, because Brian, my neighbour over there, keeps taking the mickey and keeps saying, when's that polytunnel going to get done, because it's been 2 years that the frame's been up and you've still not done anything. So apparently in the next 2 or 3 weeks Nigel reckons he'll have the sheet up for me, so I best get cracking on. I'll show you quickly what it looks like now, and then I will take you on a walking tour right from the top. So here we go. I have probably shown you this before, but that's the tunnel as it's been for the last 2 years. Well, no, I say 2 years. The first year all the hoops and everything went up, and then it sort of was left there. Last year I got Adam to do all of the door frames and things for me, and there is actually some door frames down there for the actual opening and closing bits of the door. The polythene sheet is there. There's a load of wood there that's ready for the raised beds inside, and there's also some bits in there that I've sort of laid out just to get an idea of sizing and things like that. So I've collected loads of pallets. There's some there, and there's more here, and I have got 3,000 litre IBC tanks ready to go on a stack of pallets at each corner. I still need the 4th one, but I'll get working on that. So yes, this is happening shortly, so I will take you along for the ride. So here we are at the top of the plot. So as you'll see as we go through, there's too many half-finished projects, and that comes down to jobs that I want Adam to do, jobs that I need Adam's help with, etc, etc. Most of them concerning Adam, and him saying I'm too busy. So yes, let's just go through and see. Manure, I have got a new bit of an arrangement here. The farmer just in the field behind there used to bring me a trailer with all of the manure from the stables and, you know, various bits of manure. But they've had a problem for the last sort of year with people putting their dog poo. There's a footpath that goes right past where the trailer is, and then people put their dog poo and bags and all sorts of other rubbish and general rubbish and cups and, you know, water bottles and all sorts in their manure trailer. And they turned around and said, well, actually we don't feel comfortable with giving people, especially ones growing food, a trailer of manure and there might be dog mess in there, so that's not hygienic. So we're going to stop the manure trailers. And then, as I said, that was about a year ago. And then this year I bumped into her in the supermarket and I said, "Oh, have you sorted that out yet?" And she said, "No, but we do now." They've got a quad bike that they pick the field, and then they've got what looks like a giant wheelbarrow behind, that they pull behind the quad bike, and she said it'll be little bits and often, but if you want that. So this is 3 loads that they've dumped here for me, and they said, "Where do you want it?" And I said, "Well, I don't actually know because I haven't emptied out the previous bin, so just dump it there for now." And what I've done is I've started shoveling it into a bag just so I can clear the space to get that open, to get all of the old manure out. So so that's what's going on here. I'm literally just taking a break and doing a video for you guys now, so because it's hot. So this is a recent project that we just started a couple of weeks ago. So last year I bought some picket fencing and a gate and everything to go up here. 2 reasons. One, to keep our dog in when Elsa comes to the allotment, because otherwise she just runs straight out. And number 2, to keep other dogs out, because people come walking up. They come walking up with their dogs. The dogs are off the lead. The person's still at the back there. The dog runs all the way. Mine is the only one that's open at the front. So the dog runs in here, explores a bit, does their business. And then by the time that the owner gets back here and they call the dog's done their business, but they haven't necessarily seen, or that's what I tell myself. And therefore I'm constantly picking up other people's dog mess in my allotment. So I now want a fence and a gate, but still a gate big enough so that I can back the truck, because I can back the truck up there past the little chicken house. So so the gate will be a wide enough gate that I can still get the truck down there. Nettle City. I've just noticed how many nettles there are. Yeah, not good. Slowly starting to work my way through all these slabs, but still a work in progress. The tiny little row of leftover raspberries that were there, you can see, are now taking over. They are coming up everywhere, so I need to just get rid of them. And then 2 weekends ago, while Adam was doing that, the fencing and concreting the posts in, I decided to dig up. Over here I had 1 bramble that then multiplied into 1,000,000 brambles, and everywhere where it touched it made a new plant. So I set it upon myself to dig out all the brambles. So you'll see I've dug out all of this lot around here and all the way around here as well. So all of the brambles hopefully have now been tamed for a little while. So needless to say, they'll come back again. That's just sod's law. That's the fencing that's going to be going up at the top. Coming down here, you'll see the overall state of the place is, it's a mess, and that's a technical term. So I had 3 bags of leaves, horse chestnut leaves that I got from the school in the autumn. There was 3 there. I've literally just emptied 1 into that one, so that I can use the bag up there for the manure. So bags of leaves. I collected some new compost bins from a lady that put them on Facebook. So I'm going to set those up and put all the leaves in them as soon as I get round to that. Compost pile as usual, slowly working my way through it. I sprayed over here, and this morning I sprayed this bit of the path as well, just to try and get rid of all these dandelions before they start making seed heads. Strawberry bed's looking okay. I weeded it the other day. It needs topping up, so I will top this one up with some of that compost just in between, because a lot of them I saw yesterday, the roots are a little bit exposed and stuff, so as the ground is settled. So I'll top this one up. I want to do the last 3 slabs here to finish that path. I redid this bed last year, as you'll remember, and they all died. So I've redone it again. So that's why this one's all topped up and nice. But you can see all the weeds coming up amongst them again already. I was hoping to get the 3rd strawberry bed in this year, but I think I've left it too late yet again. So yeah, and that's another Adam job, isn't it? So not sure if that's going to go in this year. Over here, the kids have both, well, I have told the kids that they have both given up their beds because it is just more stuff for me to do because they don't do it. So they plant it and then they do nothing for the rest of the year, and then it's up to me. So I have repurposed these beds into, I've moved all the dahlias from over there into that bed, so that's now a dahlia bed. And this bed is going to have some cut flowers, zinnias, cornflowers, things like that in here. As soon as Adam fixes the corner, which has come undone, it just needs fixing, and I am in a process of trying to dig out all these thistles, but it is a losing battle. I just cannot seem to get rid of them. So that's what's happening there. I've started digging over here, getting the bed back into shape, and hopefully this year, before the ground turns to concrete, I'm going to get around to digging this one. I've also marked out where the path is going to be, so hopefully at some point I'll get this path in as well, and then the beds will be clearer to see. So, because at the moment, what's bed and what's weed city? No idea. On this side, some euphorbias left over from last year. I'll give them a second year. Lupins, still from last year. I started clearing and weeding. You'll see there's still some more to do. Rudbeckias that I planted last year. I'm not sure I was aware that they come back a second year. I don't know. I might need to go and look. Are they perennials? Are they bi-yearly annual thingies? I have no idea. I need to go and look it up. I think I sort of planted them thinking I'll have to plant them again next year, but maybe not because they're coming up. The back bed over there I still need to clear, and this mess is still this mess. I planted some bulbs in here. Obviously I can tell those are tulips. There was some daffodils in here, or narcissi, and then there's some other things in the middle there which I'll have to refer back to an old video to see what they are. There might be some irises, not sure, but they're not, I can only see about 4 or 5 of them, so they're obviously not very successful. The rose is still going okay. It's very yellow at the moment. I don't know why it's so yellow. I probably need to give it a bit of a feed or something. And I've been sorting some canes. This area I've sprayed, and I'll start making a trench to put some manure in, ready for the sweet peas later. Some dahlias waiting to go in to somewhere, not quite sure where. And as I said, mess. Shed. Another project I've sort of half done is I've started painting the shed, and then I ran out of paint. So I've bought some new paint, and that'll be a future video of me just doing a bit of maintenance on the shed. Peonies are still in the pots. I've still not done anything with them, but they're happy in there, so that's fine. Those are the onions, shallots, garlic, everything waiting to go into some beds further up there. The greenhouse, some bits and pieces starting to happen in there, but not ready to show you just yet, so that'll be another video. And then this is what I mean with it's a mess, and I haven't been here, and France takes up too much of my time. So but once again, that's a story for another day. So yeah, just going through here. I will start from there again and start clearing this way. This will be the potato bed this year, so they need to start going in. So I was digging here last night until about 9 o'clock. So clear this bed. There's still some spinach in there, which would be a shame, but I'm going to harvest what I can and then lift them and put them in the compost. So because as I say, the potatoes need to go in here. The onions and garlic and shallots needs to go in there. Fun and games. Over here, still the last few bits of curly kale, which I'm just going to lift and put in the compost as well. And then I've started, as you can see, I've started clearing in here. Where the new fence is going up at the top used to be my burn pile, so I've decided new burn pile location will be here. So I might set fire to that later. It's nice and dry. IBC that needs to move down to the tunnel, and then Over here, a few weeks ago, I cleared all the tyres. It was all weed free and lovely. And look, I mean, I spent a bit of time here again yesterday, but it's just a nightmare. But it's this time of year, isn't it? So yeah, tyres nearly done. I'm going to top them up with some of that manure from the well-rotted manure bin. So top them all up, ready for the squashes and pumpkins and courgettes and everything that's going to go in here again later. They're all planted in the greenhouse, well, sown probably about 3 days ago, so a little while before they need to go out. So that's what's happening here. This is still a pile of rubbish. I probably just need to take that lot up to the tip. Those are pallets. I've got 12. There's 4 there, there's some down there. 12 in total, 3 for each corner of the tunnel, to then have an IBC on top of it to collect water. I was just speaking to my allotment neighbour Brian, and I asked him about automatic watering and things for the tunnel, and he said if I want that, then I need to raise my IBCs higher, sort of 4 foot, I think he said. So I might need to find some more pallets to do that. So this will be the tunnel. As you can see, I can't remember how much I showed you before, but as you can see, the door is in the middle. Made the door quite wide, so a wheelbarrow will be able to go through it, because, as you can see, not enough space on that side or on this side to actually get past this tunnel. But I'm sure I've said that before. So the tunnel is smack bang in the middle, and the only way to get to that side will be right through the tunnel. So I will have probably a bed down the side and a bed down the side, 4 foot I think on each side, and then a path. One side will just be a concrete block wide, and the other side will be a bit wider, and then whatever's left over in the middle, and it'll all be raised beds. I'm not going to try and I'm not going to dig all of this out for in the ground beds. I have sprayed this lot because, as I said, Nigel is going to come and do this in the next couple of weeks, he said. Well, put the sheet on and dig the trenches and put the doors on and things like that. So I've sprayed all of this just to try and get it down, and then what I'll probably do is try and even it out a little bit, and then put cardboard down with raised beds on top. And as I said to Brian this morning, I probably won't do all of it this year. If I start off with a couple of raised beds on either side up there, then that'll be enough for this year, and then I can work on it throughout the year and over winter and things. So as I said, more pallets for the corners, a couple of tyres. Way back when, probably about 3 years ago, I planted 3 rhubarbs. I can normally find that one, and then I can't find the other 2. That one I've never seen again. I think the slugs had it. But this one I've just found again this morning. So there's a tiny little rhubarb there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be digging it up and putting it in a pot, because the minute the slugs find it, it's gone again for another year. So and as I say, it's 3 years old, but it suffers massively in there. So I'm going to dig it up and put it in a pot. Now, that one I put a tyre around it so I know where it is. Fruit area, gooseberry bushes are doing well. I was looking yesterday, they're starting to make little flowers, which will then turn into gooseberries. So they're doing well. Red currant at the back there is doing okay. Red gooseberry over here. I basically need to just clear a bit. I did a bit of work on these beds a few weeks ago. Weeded them, cleared them, but look, it's already, not that one, those 3, but it's already starting to take over there again. But at least they're all growing and they're happy. These are all the autumn fruiting raspberries over there, 3 different kinds, and this is a tayberry. And I really need to tie this up and support it in some way, shape or form, because it's just going crazy. So yellow raspberries, I was so hoping to have these tamed in a bed this year, but as you can see, it's once again not going to happen. And look at how they've spread into the paths and everywhere, so I really need to do something with them. but it's too late to move them again now. So what I'm going to get Adam to do is build me the beds so they sit there and they're ready. And then once these are finished fruiting this year, or maybe in the autumn, I'm going to lift them all up, put the beds in place, put the paths in, and then replant the canes in the appropriate beds. And hopefully then by planting them in a raised bed off the ground, I won't get as many suckers going underneath and out on the other side. Well, that's my theory anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong. And down here, the trees are just about starting. Some of these are later than others, but you can see we've got some little buds on the apple trees. This one's got more, so it looks more, progressed further along. So it's the 5 apple trees, and then this is the grafted cherry tree that I put in, was it last year or the year before? I can't remember, but it's 2 of them, so it's a duo, and it was grafted here, I think that's the graft there. So each branch is a different variety, as you can see there. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. So 2 different cherries on 1 tree. This is the plum tree. I planted it at the same time as the cherry, and it is yellow Pershore is the variety. I've just seen this little blossom there, and there's a couple up there as well. So I'm in 2 minds whether I should chop those down so it becomes more bushy down the bottom. I don't want it to just keep growing up and up and up. So and then the pear tree is also just the blossoms are starting to come out. Lovely. So let's just hope we don't get a frost like we did last year where I lost all of my blossoms. So fingers crossed. So that's it from me for this episode. Hold on, let me turn you around. So there we go, that's it. And yes, as you know, there's always loads and loads of plans this time of year, and I'm hoping I'll get to at least some of them this year. And last year was a complete waste. I spent so much time in France. I went to France for 6 weeks in the summer, and yeah, I spent so much time in France that I just never really got round to doing anything here. Most of my seedlings actually died in the greenhouse. They just got too big, and in the end they died in the pots that they were in, never getting planted out. There was a few things that got planted out, but a general failure last year. So this year I'm hoping it's going to be better. I've got 4 weeks now until I go to France again, just for a week this time, because we are fitting a new kitchen. So the builders are in there as we speak. The ceiling should be coming down this week. Electricians in next week doing all the electrics. The week after, the new ceiling goes in and the plastering gets done. The week after that, they're doing all of the tiling. And then the week after that is when I go down with a van with a kitchen. So I'm buying the kitchen here, taking it all down to France, and then I will be there the week they fit the kitchen. So so in the next 4 weeks I want to get as much done as possible, and I'll take you along for the ride. Thanks for watching, you guys, and for bearing with me. So see you soon.